Hey, welcome. Oh, you have just been provided the opportunity of your lifetime. Person that invited you here to get that more information about AGARA, about this magic product, about this fantastic product, about this fantastic business opportunity. It truly is an opportunity of a lifetime. Now, I know many of us has heard that, especially if we've been in around direct sales or direct marketing for a while. And I know I have. Uh, and I'll introduce myself. I'm Bob Reid. Uh, I'm a chemical engineer, have a master's in business. I've been in the corporate world with two Fortune 50 companies. First 20 years of my uh, career in a just over broke situation, a job. Uh, but I was one of the fortunate ones. I got introduced to network marketing in 1991. I was making over a six-figure income. I was a top-level corporate executive. I've been a global product manager for three divisions, and one of them was opening pharmaceutical markets around the world. And but I fell in love with the concept of time, freedom, wealth. And if that rings any bells with you, like it did with me, uh, you are at the right place. And I'll explain why. And let me do that here today. So just have a little a little patience with us, and bear with me a little bit. And I think you will see the same things I saw. Uh, I've been in the network marketing industry since I resigned that job in '94, almost making a double six-figure income to do network marketing full time. I'm what you call a master in the industry. I've built two of the largest organizations with two companies, but both companies took away that dream that I wanted to leave uh, a legacy income, a residual income, a residual business for my children's children. Now, it served us well. We became financially independent at a very young age, and in 2001, well, in 1996, we became financially independent. But in 2001, we had enough money to live off of for the rest of our lives, no matter if I worked or did not work, as long as we lived, you know, uh, a nice upper lifestyle. I've made $1 million per year, uh, multiple years in a row with a company. And the last company I was with for 10 years. I had the largest organization in that company. And I want you to understand, I'm telling you this to for you to know about me and my experience, but it wasn't me that built that. It was our team that built that because I believe in working in a team approach. And so together with my team, we were able to elevate that and following a duplicable system. And and that system is a very simple system. It's one of success. And learning the skills, attitudes, and techniques that it takes to become successful. But you've got to have the right product, you got to have the right timing, you got to have the right compensation plan, and the right team to work with. If you don't have those elements, you're just not going to be successful. But it doesn't mean that network marketing doesn't work. It just means you haven't came to the right place at the right time with the right products, the right company, right comp plan, the right market timing, and the right leadership team to build with. That's what that means. And yes, you should just keep trying until you find that because it's worth its while to develop time, freedom, wealth. And it's worth it to be involved in a network marketing company anyway to get the 1099 tax benefits and get products free and not have your tax dollars wasted by the government, but invested in yourself. Now, I'm not a tax advisor, even though I got an MBA, but any good CPA will tell you you need to be in a home-based business to get the 1099 tax benefit. If you are in that just over broke situation, I call a job because see, you're making someone else wealthy. See, they're leveraging off of your time. It's like old J. Paul Getty said, I'd rather have the efforts of 1% of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts. Well, when that company on March the 2nd of this year decided to change their way of doing business and convert to a precious metals, just regular affiliate company, means it took away our network marketing residual income. All of us that were in that, like me, for 10 years, and many of our team that was 5, 3, 4, are joining and wanting that. But that's what happens with companies with technology and service related type industries. If you look over the history of network marketing, that's what's happened. So that's why when I look for something for our people to do, my people in our team, our culture, they needed something else to do. Well, I've got the marketing experience from the corporate world to evaluate businesses and opportunities and markets, because that's what I did and got paid the big bucks for the corporation. But I also have 35 years of experience in network marketing, and 10 of it I did as consulting and comp plans in the industry and helping companies improve their comp plans or modify their comp plans or resolve problems with their comp plans. I was kind of known as the binary expert, one of the binary experts in the industry. And so I used that vast amount of experience to look where was the next opportunity, and I wanted a product company. Okay, I specifically wanted a product because if you look at all the big companies, all the people who make the big incomes, they're like a Shackley, like a Herbalife, like an Amway, like a Mary Kay, like a New Skin, like a Malaluka, like USANA, on and on and on. They're product companies. Those companies are still here, and the people were with them in their ground floor in their formative period in the first 3 years and just stuck with them. Those are the people who've made the inordinate amount of incomes in this industry. So I no longer wanted a company that was going to pull the rug out or had a high probability of pulling the rug out because, see, I'm 79 and a half. I'll be 80 this year. Okay. I don't have that much time left to develop a big end for my children's children. It's not for me. We have enough. We have enough gold, silver, property, land, income. We have enough to last Pamela and I the rest of our lives, natural lives. Uh, but I want a residual income to pass on, a business to pass on to my children's children. That was one of the reasons. So I'm sharing with you my why right at the beginning. And in the process, we're going to develop a lot of leaders that's going to be those big future earners with this company that's going to be a mega multi-billion-dollar company. It, in my view, will be one of the largest network marketing consumption product companies in the industry. And I think what they're doing right now in their first not even 6 months in business is proving that to be true and a high probability of being true. So let me just share with you what I did. I went and looked for those companies. Okay. And believe it or not, there's more than 100 new network marketing companies in the globe that are less than 3 years old. More than 100. But I know how to separate the chaff from the wheat, if you know what I mean. And so I was easily able to separate that and come down to 4 companies. And then when I was starting to look into those 4 companies, I call it vetting, looking to it, one of them just popped out at me like boom on the screen. Well, you know, I can say I found it, but I truly believe God put this in front of me. Okay. And uh, because normally I can't vet a company so quick, so fast that I did with this company. I actually vetted the company from finding it to completely deciding this is the company to be in 3.5 hours. I've never been able to do that before. 3.5 hours. And so what popped out first, it had $1 million in sales in one day. One day, one product company had $1 million in sales in one day. Do you know there's no network marketing company I know of in the history of network marketing has ever done that? Well, that spoke volumes to me from a business standpoint. And then as I dug into it, I saw they had $10 million in sales in their first 4 months in operation. And it only had one product. I said, whoa, this is amazing. What kind of product do they have? See, I didn't even know what the product was, basically. I didn't look into that. Then I started vetting the product. Well, it was a functional coffee. Well, I know functional coffee. I know mushroom coffee. So do you. We see them advertised on TV. That's been the big thing for the last 7, 8 years is functional coffees coming in the marketplace. And there's this matcha coming into the marketplace. All the specialty coffee shops, all the specialty drink places having their matcha drinks and their functional coffee drinks, either hot or cold, and served many different ways, and charging big bucks for them, $8 on average for them. And people lined up to get them in the mornings and the afternoons. And so that's a big market. So then I said, okay, coffee, that's a market. I looked into coffee market is one of the largest growing product consumption markets in the world. It's over $100 billion, growing at more than 10% per annum per year. And that's a big market expanding. But the functional coffee market is growing at over 30% per annum per year. That is a huge growth section. I said, man, this is opportunity. This company is getting a place in the marketplace that nobody else is doing. So what makes their functional coffee different than any other functional coffee? Oh, that's when I started looking at the product and the product ingredients. So I know a little bit about that, knowing my pharmaceutical background and my engineering background, my chemistry background, and many years in homeopathic health. Okay, we all want natural health. That's much better than those drugs. Okay, trust me, I developed them, I market them, so I know they're much better if you get the natural instead of all the stuff the doctor wants to prescribe to you. So anyway, I looked at the ingredients and I was very familiar with them. And I just went ahead and looked up each one of them individually that they added to their mushroom coffee. Okay. So they are adding a lot of extra ingredients to this. And I said, whoa, these things individually can do a lot of things for people. But see, I also know something in chemistry and in engineering and in pharmacological world that there's a thing called synergy. And if you get the right products and the right mixtures together, you can have synergy. And so synergy means 1 + 1 = 3. That means it works better than the individual ingredients individually if you put them together in the right proportion. So they have a proprietary formulation of known existing products in the world, and they found the right mixture. That's really all it is to it. And they're the first company in the marketplace. Bingo! Another big check mark on when you're vetting a company for opportunity. And then I looked at the comp plan. And I'm extremely familiar with comp plans. I told you I consulted in the industry. I helped develop, help modify, make comp plans. And so I saw on the front end, they have a fast start bonus. Everybody going to make money right off the bat, no matter what, when they first come in. That's good. People need to make money when they're doing something. And then they have, in addition, after you meet a minimum qualification, you get what you call an infinity unitary bonus. You sponsor someone, they're going to get first order bonus. Your people sponsor someone, they get that first order. But if you're infinity or coded qualified, you get a bonus too. Oh, now you're talking about a unitary comp plan on the front end of this business. And then after you start developing your minimum what you call foundational team, you start a binary income. So now you start a second income stream. So actually it's a third. You get the first order bonus always, and then the infinite coded bonus, and then you start getting a binary, and then you qualify for a binary check match. Everybody you sponsored, and I'm going to go through that a little bit, but I want you to understand These three elements combined make one of the highest paying comp plans I've ever seen in this entire industry. And I just couldn't believe it. So if they had this kind of product sales, they had this kind of marketplace they're penetrating. They're only 4 months or a little more than 4 months old. Somebody had to be making money in this, so I wanted to know who it was. So I look, that's next part of vetting. And I found a familiar face, Robert Faison, a legend in the industry. People call me a master. He's a real legend. He's made double the money I've made, and he's made a 7-figure plus income of 14 years in a row with his company. He had the largest organization. He was with his company with 25 years before they pulled the rug out from him and then took away his residual income because they converted, changed into another company. And that happens. But was not with a product consumption company either. Like me, I wasn't with a product consumption company. So I pick up the phone. I give Robert a call. I said, Robert, I thought you retired. You weren't going to do network marketing anymore. Now, see, Robert's 67. He's younger than me. And so he said, yeah, I was, but you don't understand, Bob. Chris, he just wouldn't give up on me. He just wouldn't quit. He wouldn't even read my lips. I told him, I am not interested in network marketing. I'm building another company again. I've got enough money. Donna and I was retired. Anyway, I've got some health problems. I'm just not interested. Well, anyway, long story short, and I'll let him tell you the story, but he was given a bag of the product to sample, to try. And only after, 5 days, didn't even really take that long, he started vetting the company. He told me a story about his results with the product. And because it was so enormous, he vetted the company and he decided to get involved because of the product and what it was doing and what the company was going to do. And I said, yeah, I just quit. I just finished vetting the company myself too. That's why I'm calling you. And I told him basically what I just told you. And I said, look, why don't we do something that hadn't been done in the industry before, Robert? Why don't we have two masters in it join together and let's build some power legs for our people and build a support team that our people can plug into, and then they can build, and let's help this company become a $1 billion company before they thought they were going to be a $1 billion company. He said, that's a good idea. I joined him on March the 6th. Mark that date down. I sponsored my first two people needed income, March the 7th. I've already made more money in this company since March the 7th, when I sponsored to the date, and I've made in any company I've ever done in network marketing. And I haven't even I've been just setting up the market, setting up the plan. I hadn't even begun to really help build. And I'm going to give you a little bit more information I didn't give before because, see, the company now has two products, has the matcha AGARA and has the AGARA Cafe, the coffee mushroom-based coffee, but the matcha-based, and then they have all those same ingredients in the matcha that the AGARA has in it. So you're talking about a two-ended sword here of success. You don't have a better equipment. And here's the other thing. The company is not even 6 months old. It's a little more, 5 months old. Now, a little bit more than 5 months old. And they already opened in Canada and the Philippines. They opened on May 2nd. One of the hardest countries for a product company to get certified, registered, and be able to ship product in is Canada in the world, and the Philippines too, because they're kind of like a US FDA. So this is no real startup company. And it's because the vetting that I did with the owner, Grace Bravo, and what her mission is and where her heart is. And she made her millions in network marketing. And she has a passion for coffee. And she has a passion for functional coffee. And her CEO, Hayden Daughters, and he's already worked with the company and helped them open in 40 international countries with a product. and knows the registration process, knows the vetting process, the, the entire process, and it's proven. Here's a 5-month-old company opened in one of the most difficult countries in the world to register and get, and they did it. And no other company I know of in history has done it in less than 2 years. Been in for 2 years. Now that speaks volume. So if you want to know that you're with the right company and the right place and the right products and the right market and the right compensation plan and the right leadership team, well, you just got introduced to it. That's why I say you just got introduced to the opportunity of your lifetime, and I hope you take advantage of it. I hope you join us. I hope you go and get in. I hope you follow my success system. Put in your 2 years of commitment because it'll pay you returns that you've never seen before. So let me share my screen. I'm going to kind of review a little bit of this with you and sharing the screen, but you can go, and I encourage you to, because somebody's probably already introduced you or sent you their share link. And if they didn't, you need to ask them for your share link, but you're going to get to go to the website. Okay. And in their share link, it'll have introduced by their name there. This is the company's website. And you'll want to click on, hear their little short video about their story. I did. I think you should too. I think you should go through and click on and review the link. Look up these individual ingredients like I did. You'll see what they do and have a history, a proven history of what they do in the market. These are not new ingredients here. They just found the right formulation, the right mixture. Then you look at the matcha, you can look at its ingredient, and I encourage you to do such. You can get, understand a little bit about the market, which I confirmed all this. And you can too if you want, but you don't need to. I mean, you had one of the best market vetters in the industry doing it for you and giving you a report on it. And then you can, look at you can review a little short video on the compensation plan, which I'm going to kind of go review for you. And I encourage you to do it. And here's some of the other things. One of the things is you can join for free, and you should. You should just go ahead and join. It's free. Okay. People can join for free. That meets some of these regulatory. If you're working with a network marketing course, you get introduced to one and you cannot join for free and earn your way into this business, that company is going to get shut down. It's going to run into regulatory compliance problems. And when it runs into regulatory compliance problems, it's going to be all over the news, all over the media. And then your business, all you did falls all apart because nobody wants to become involved with it because now it's under scrutiny by the state regulators and the federal regulators. That's what happens in this industry. So if you are in a network marketing opportunity or you're in looking at one or you just started one and that company has no way to join for free, you got a problem. I'm telling you that right now. Okay? And a lot of your work is going to go for naught when it hits regulatory compliance. Okay? And it will. It's just time. So that was a great big check mark off of me saying, okay, ground floor opportunity meets every check mark there is. Wow, I got to get involved. And so I'm going to just share with you how I started my review. And it was so easy, and you can too. You can just Google AGARA Life owner. I got it. You'll find Grace Bravo. You even find her maiden name in there too. You'll find both names, Grace Lynn and Grace Bravo. So that makes it easy to go and find out all about Grace and her life. Okay. It isn't hard. Okay. And then you'll find the CEO, Hayden, daughters, and you even have his middle name. Now, this makes it so easy to vet, which I did. And then you can find a lot of Facebook things and social media stuff out there on both of them in the past and in the current, okay, which is pretty easy to do. And then if you know how to go behind the curtains like I do, you can find out a lot more detail. And so I did. I got enough vetting that all I needed to do. And then I know my sponsor I already knew him, but I'm going to introduce him to you through a little video uh, that he does. And I'm going to explain this to you first. Robert does a presentation like this every night at 7 p.m. Central Time, 5 nights a week. The company does one on Tuesday nights. All we have to do is invite people. Now, the company does one on Saturdays. So Robert doesn't do his on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I do a presentation with details like I'm doing right now over Monday and Thursday at 5 p.m. and our links are there. So your job will be inviting people. Your job is to invite people here. Let us do the walk and the talk for you. So here's Robert.
All right. Hello and welcome to tonight's Zoom. Robert Faison here in Arkansas. And we're going to keep this one short tonight. We do have a corporate Zoom coming up right after this. So a quick story on myself. I've been in network marketing for, over 30 years now, and was not interested in doing another one. The last one I was in went out of business after 25 years, but I had made many, many millions of dollars, so I didn't need any more money. Wasn't interested in working. My health had not been good for many, many years. I've got psoriatic arthritis and just my joint pain, carpal tunnel in my fingers and my wrists, my knees, my ankles, all that hurt all the time, 24/7. And a friend said, well, at least try the product. And the product's a coffee product. We also now have a tea as well, if you like green tea better than coffee. But the coffee's delicious, and I tried it. I noticed a little something the first day, seemed like energy was better. I slept better that night. The next day, I realized all my joint pain was gone. And that was a shock because I haven't had a day without joint pain far back as I can remember. And now 90 days later, it's still gone. So I call it magic coffee. I don't know which ingredient in there or if it's just the combination of them that causes that, but I've got tons of stories of my customers with the same results. And that's what tonight's call's for, is just to let you hear from a few folks and let them share their results. And let's keep them short tonight because we got about 6 or 7 we want to get on here in a short period of time. So why don't we start out with.
And that's what Robert does, and that's what we can do. And then I explained we've already got a support system for you to succeed, established, and we're ground floor. I've never seen this happen before in my entire career, and we're so ground floor. But the company, when you see the back office, when you see the support materials, when you see the marketing materials, when you see all the short videos, when you see everything this company has, I look at it and it's like this company's like been in business for 10 years. No company I've ever been with in a ground floor opportunity had the degree of sophistication and shipping and bringing new products to the marketplace and running their comp plan every week. Unbelievable to me. And got an app that we can even share products and samples, and it works. It tells you what people's look. Anyway, I can get really excited about this company big time. But what I need to do is show you a little bit about the comp plan. I'm not going to go into big details about it. I'm going to give you the overview you need. But the first thing you need to do is, like I said, in regulatory compliance, every company you're in, if they can't join in free, you may as well quit it right now, because you're going to go to naught and join one that's good, one that's going to stay, has a great probability of staying, instead of it getting your rug pulled out from under you. Okay? You can join for free, and you can, when you join, that everybody joins for free. Then you're provided an opportunity to either become an ambassador or buy a starting package or just buy some product at a discount when you become a member or an ambassador. As a customer, you're going to get retail price. But you can go out and get 3 customers and then your product's free. What? Join, you enjoy the product, you share the product, people do. They join for free and they buy the product and your product's free. That's pretty simple. But it's also the basis of how we build a business. So you understand join for free and get three to get yours free is also the basis of how we build the business when we look at it from a business standpoint. Now you can get more customers than just three. Okay. Then you start earning what you call 20% of the commissionable volume. And each product has commissionable volume on it. So it's like dollars, and you get paid 20% in addition to getting your product free. Okay. Now, if you want to become an ambassador and you get into the tree, into the organizational tree, as a customer, you're not put in the organizational tree. You're assigned to whoever linked you to be a customer, but you're not in the organizational tree. And people who are understanding network marketing, you're not positioned yet. Okay. So you're not going to have a lot of people under you until you become an ambassador. That costs $49 per year, and that gives you your website link. Yeah, a customer gets a website link. They can't share it without a website link, but they get no back office. They get none of the tools. Okay. They're just a customer ordering product off of customer site, and then they'll have a link for a customer site. Okay. But as an ambassador, you're going to have access to the back office and all the tools, and you pay $49 a year for that. Now, you can then buy product. You can buy a single bag. You can buy a bag, and as an ambassador, you're going to get $10 off. As a customer, it's $79. And you say, oh, well, that's a lot for coffee. Oh no, it's not. You're not buying coffee. You're buying magic coffee. You're buying this product that does something different. And just think about it this way. Even Dunkin' Donuts sells matcha drinks. Okay, you should go look. I've been looking everywhere. I've been seeing tea and at McDonald's and all the specialty coffee shop. And, it averages about $8 per drink. Okay, so 20 working days, and people are lined up morning and night. They're going to Starbucks, specialty shop, PJs, community house, so well, all kind of different places, and getting their coffee in the morning. Okay, so 20 times 8, 20 working days in a month, times 8 is $160. Well, they don't even get any tax paid. As an ambassador, you're starting a home-based business. You get home-based business tax benefits. So, man, let your taxes buy your coffee. Okay, that's kind of what I say. And so it's understanding how to what deductions you get. A lot of your personal expenses become tax deductions. So look, here's the key. At $69 a bag, okay, you're only paying about $2.50 per cup. And if you get the results that we're getting for it, it's well worth it, and you won't ever be without it. Okay. And it's flying off the shelf. Apparently, it's working. $10 million in 4 months, and now they're open in two more countries, and it's flying off the shelf still. Okay. So you can get a double bag. Now, and when we talk business and position yourself in establishing a business, you want to understand that 2 bag is what keeps you active, keeps your electricity on for your business, and it gives you product every month for your own consumption or sampling. Okay, either or. And sampling is an expense, by the way. So we have what we call 3 business ways that we come in. The first one helps you get coded. Now, you don't know what that means, but you want to get coded. The first one helps you get coded, and that is a platinum position. It's a package of $299 or $310. It depends if you get the mix or the pure. Okay. You get the coffee and the matcha or just the coffee. Okay. So the 12X pack is $699. That makes you a Ruby. And not only do you become code eligible, but you're Ruby qualified. And that's very important. You didn't have to rank up to that. Okay. And that positions you to get 777 coded. So again, you don't know what all this means, but I'll kind of give you a little summary what it means, and it'd be real clear why you want to be there. And you'll want to come in like I've asked people, treat it like a big business. Treat it like you're starting. Any business costs money to start up. You're getting product and samples. Okay. 24X, that's $12.99 or $13.49 if you get the mix pack. And that's what I recommend. You're an emerald. And so that qualifies you to become power coded and to become second generation coded. And that is where a lot of the big money is going to be made. And so treat it like a business. Now, you have your first month that you join plus 1 month. It's not 60 days. It's the month you join plus 1 month, because if you start somewhere, you can buy a second rank up order to make that total. So if you started here at $2.99, a 5X, and you wanted to be a 24X, well, you can make 19 more packages, and that'd be a total of 24. Okay? And rank, or you could get 7 more and rank up to the 12X pack and start as a Ruby. But you only have one chance to do that. Okay? And where you get paid on the bonus. Okay. So, bingo. What does this mean? Well, I'm going to share with you what you mean. I'm not going to go through the 8 different ways you earn money. You just understand you get several ways that you can earn money. So if you start at the $2.99 pack and you bring in 3 people at $2.99 or above, you can become infinity coded 333. Now, why do you want to do that? I'm going to share with you why you want to do that. See, when you come in and you enroll someone and they buy that one pack, you're going to get a first order bonus from when they order that first order of $10. They buy it, you get $10. Okay. If they buy a double bag, you'll get $20. So, 10 each. Okay. But if they buy that 5X pack, you're going to get $30. If they buy that 12X pack, you'll get $100. If they buy that 24X pack, you'll get $200. That's called first order bonus. So you get to earn money right off the bat as you're building the business. Well, why do you want to become infinity coded? Well, when you sponsor someone and they come in, then they're going to sponsor someone and they're going to come in one of these ways. So if they come in and they buy a 5X pack, that means they sponsor. Well, they're going to get $30. But if you're infinity coded, you also get $30. So you're starting to build what I call an infinity unitary bonus on your foundational team. The people you sponsor, they sponsor, and they sponsor, and they sponsor, you get a coded bonus. That's why we call it a coded bonus. Well, you notice if you're only 333 qualified, you just get $30 no matter what your person that sponsored a person that sponsored a new person. They get the first order, but you get the infinity code. And if you're so that's why it's important to become. See, at Ruby, you can get coded. Okay, you become coded. Okay, so you're eligible to earn that if you start as a Ruby. Okay, so you didn't have to rank up to it. So now let's look at what that means. Well, I just kind of explained it. Okay, 333 coded. When you get 333 coded, and the next person you sponsor and everybody they sponsor underneath them, okay, whatever these people buy, the person that sponsored them gets the first order, but you're going to get for 5X pack $30, a 12X pack, so you'll get it too. So that's a kind of a picture and a chart tells you the same thing. The charts are what explains it to me. So how do you become 777 core? Well, if you start at that 699, the Ruby, okay, and you enroll 3 people that start at Ruby or above. In other words, they came in with the 12X pack or the 24X, but it's your low, how you start or what your person that you sponsor personally start determines if you're 3-3 qualified or 7-7. So it's the lowest. But whenever you do sponsor in time, 3 people at 699, you're 7-7 qualified. It doesn't matter when, but it's better to get them as quick as possible. Okay, that's the real key. Here's why. Okay, when you sponsor a person, and then that person sponsors a person, and that person sponsors a person, okay, on your infinity team, well, they're going to get that first order bonus. But if they sponsored them they get that first starter bonus. If you're 333 quoted and they came in with a 24X pack, you're only going to get $30. But if you're 777 quoted, well, you get $150. If they come in with a 12X pack, you get the same thing the first starter bonus person got. You get $100 too. That's why it's a business. So you need to come in at a business position, okay? And or you're going to have to rank up to it. So kind of a little quick explanation of why you want to become this pitcher 777 qualified, but the company calls that the jackpot. I I don't call that the jackpot. I call it 12, 12, 12, power coded, back jackpot. Okay. Because that's the optimum way to come in. If you're really looking at it as a business, do it one time in your life. Do the right thing. Make a commitment to yourself and to your business, and really start a business and don't just fool around with it. Okay. Come in as an emerald or get ranked up to an emerald as soon as you can. And I'm going to show you why. Okay. So before I show you why, let's kind of do a little review. Okay. When you come in, you're going to sponsor 3 people. Okay. Your first 3 people that come in with either a $299 or if they come in less than that, these packages, they're still going to be in your family, but they're not part of your business. They're not part of becoming coded. They got to start at $299 or $699 or $12.99, 5X, 12X, or 24X. Those first 3 that you sponsor like that, personally, that's your foundation team. You're going to get that first order bonus of $100 on each one, assuming they come in with a 12X. So now you keep sponsoring people. Yeah, we're going to keep sponsoring because you want to start that binary. After you get these 3, then you start a binary. But here's what else. You are coded. Once you are become infinity coded, then look what happens. The next 3 people you sponsor and they come in with that 12X, let's say they do, then you're not going to just get the $100. You're going to get $100 for each one of them, but you're going to get that infinity bonus. And that's an extra $100. Remember the infinity? Yeah, the 777 one. Okay, now you're getting $200 each. So now you sponsored 3 on your first one. You get 300. You sponsored 3 more. You get 600. You came in at 699. You got $900 plus anybody that sponsored anybody down here. You got extra infinity bonus. You got all your money back and more. So you don't want to let money go past you as you're building. If you're not coded, you're letting money go past you because some of the people you sponsor people and you're going to miss that because you're not coded. Okay. So that's the real benefit. So here's the other thing. You may have people that are 333 coded, but you're 777 coded or you're 12 coded. Either way, it works the same, but you're going to make a lot of extra money because they only are 333 coded. So they only get the $30. Well, what if somebody you sponsored and they sponsored and they sponsored, and they come in with a 12X pack? Well, the 12X gives $100. Well, they only get 30 because they're only 333. Well, if you're 777 and you're the sponsor of this line, guess what? You're going to get the balance. You're going to get the extra $70. Whoa, that's even better. Well, what if they come in with a 24X? Well, the person that's 3-3 quoted, when they enroll somebody, they came in with a 24X, they only get $30. But if you're 777 coded, where you're going to get the balance. So it pays $150, you're going to get another $120. That is where the money's at, y'all, in building and growing. So now you hope you see why I want you to become 12-12 quoted. 12-12-12. That's starting as an emerald. And here's why. Okay. You not only get second gen coded, but you're going to make all those differential bonuses. But as your people start sponsoring more and more people, and they sponsor more and more people, and they go out past, that first 3 in their infinity, and they sponsor 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, well, you get on that first three Infinity team and that organization, but now you can get paid on the secondary organization when the ones that are building larger past that third generation. That's called second gen code. So as they are sponsoring, they've got their Infinity teams developing below them. You get paid on their Infinity teams, and it's called a second gen code. So whenever somebody comes in that tree at a $200, you'll get an extra $75. They get the 200 and the 150, and then you get the extra 75. If you did it, then you get them all. that's even better if you personally enroll them. So now you're starting that binary pay cycle because you got your foundational team started with your first three. Now you got your infinity team with your next three, and own. You can have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember, okay. So you can just keep on going, and that's what we want to do. That's what I've done. Okay. And so what you're going to do is going to start a binary income. After you get your first three, your own purchases will flow to your second side, and it's an unequal binary. It's 2 to 1, and you're going to be in somebody's power leg. Everybody's going to be in a power leg here. This is the beautiful thing about it. And so everybody, because when you start your infinity team, you're starting your own power leg. Those people have three that comes in and placed on the left, just like you did in our power leg. And now you start your own power leg, and that power leg keeps growing infinitely as we open, and the rest of America, rest of Canada, rest of the Philippines, and then Mexico, and then the rest of the Asia Pacific, then Europe. And so you're starting to see what I mean about right place, right time, and being at the ground floor with a product consumption company. Yeah. Well, you can rank up instead of starting at the platinum level. Once you're in that level, even if you bought that position, meaning you didn't buy the position, you bought the product that had the position with it, well, you're capped at $300. You need to rank up. When you rank up the Ruby, well, that's at 6.9, that's the 12X pack. Well, you can make up to $500 a week in the binary because now you got binary income coming in. Okay, you got CV coming. Well, if you started an Emerald, guess what? Now, $1,000. I did not overflow my binary as I was building, but I came real close. I hit that $1,000. Believe me, I did. Okay. And I would have lost income had I not ranked up to Sapphire that next week because I had higher income coming in on binary. But as a Sapphire, you can get 2,000 a week in the binary. That's a six-figure income. That's not counting the first order bonus. That's not counting the infinity bonus. That's not counting what you get paid. Now you're starting to see the magic of this comp plan. I hope you do because it is multifaceted and it keeps building higher and higher for bigger check. Now in the binary, let me tell you something. You can earn up to 50,000 a week. It's capped at 50,000 a week. That's a nice income, everybody. Just multiply that times the 52 weeks. That's $2.6 million a year. You bet. And what if you sponsor someone who sponsors someone that does that? Well, you are now also, when you start earning the binary, you're qualified as a Ruby. That's where I want you to come in, Ruby, Emerald, okay, to get a binary check match. Either you qualify or you're going to have to rank up with time, and that takes time and volume, okay? Time and volume. So the binary check match, by the way, is the biggest part of this income. And this is where some people who stick around the flagpole, hang around the flagpole, keep doing what they're doing, start off right. They started as an Emerald. You always are an Emerald. You get paid as an Emerald. You qualify to get this binary check match as an Emerald. Well, maybe you sponsor 4 or 5 people And then they sponsor 4 or 5 people, where your second level have more people. When they start earning binary checks, you get a 10% match on everyone you personally sponsor. The company pays you that as a bonus. And then everybody they personally sponsor, when they're earning their binary check, the company pay you 10% of what they made on their check. So what if 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now you sponsored someone who sponsored someone, and you came in as an emerald, and that person is now making 100 grand a year? You didn't even sponsor them in just the binary. Well, you get 10% of that. That's $10,000 extra. You may only be making $500 a month. Well, what if that person ends up making that $1 million a year? What's 10% of $1 million a year? 100 grand a year. That's the big time opportunity. As this thing grows, I want y'all to understand the big money's here. And as you rank up, guess what? You get more paid on your first level, binary checks, Mac. You get paid, and they go all the way down to 7 levels deep in who you sponsored, who they sponsored, who they sponsored, who they sponsored. And the big money is here. So your money to be made is for the people who hang around here 2, 3 years with this company and keep doing the same thing over and over, and stay plugged in and stay committed to whatever time they have available. If they're working that just over broke thing, that job, then they need to put 10 hours a week into this, or at least for the at least 2, 3 years minimum, before they even understand what they got in their hands. And they're building a base, and a big base is being built underneath them at the same time. This is why I say this is the greatest opportunity since sliced bread. Okay. When you get your link, you join, you're an ambassador. You're going to get a share link that I have your name or whatever username you put in. It'll be your ID number, unless and you can modify it and change it to whatever you'd like to use as your name that shows up on your share link. And then you're going to get a back office just like this, and you're going to be able to log in. And what I'm going to tell people is, when they log in and they go to the resources link and they go to the knowledge center, I'm going to tell you, you would not know this is a 5-month-old ground floor opportunity company. I went through this training. I encourage everybody to do it, because everybody gets to be onboarded the same way, and it's the company recommendation. Everybody gets to see the same tools, the business overview presentation. You should review it. You get to see the launch training, how to launch your business, and how the compensation plan training. Okay, I just gave you one, but watch the company's training. Okay, then all the video library that they have is unbelievable. The tools, they even have it in Spanish already, and the documents are all there too. You can read everything. You don't just have to have videos and training present. You have everything in writing. And guess what? Go on and on and on, the policies and procedures. But then when you get to the brochures and product cards and resources, I'm telling you, it's like this company's been in business for 10 years. I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, it's the best thing since sliced bread. And then you got the tutorial videos. So it's got a resource center that just oozes duplication, oozes for a person that really is looking for that entrepreneurial opportunity, kept searching. And when you put somebody in that's like that, that's hungry, that's got a burning desire, this has got everything it takes. And if they're in our team, they get all of our support between Robert's patient support system, my support system, and my tools. And I've already got a band app. It's our AGARA Soaring Eagles team. And let me tell you, this company hit, I put all the tools up there. I put all the training. I put all the links for all the different meetings that we're going to have in the company's meeting, Robert's meeting, and then links for Robert Fason's Telegram channel. We've got support like you've never seen support for people to use, duplicate, and build with. It doesn't get any better than this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the opportunity of your lifetime. And I didn't start with my product testimony, but I'm going to tell you, when I heard Robert's testimony, him giving me, I have had aging arthritis. Like I said, I'm 79 and a half. I'll be 80 this year. I've had aging arthritis. It started 15 years ago, or a little bit more. And I've been having to take 4 horse pills for 15 years. I call them horse pills. You know, the Condroitin, the glucosamine, the MSM, the hyaluronic acid, and the fish oil. I mean, those are big old horse pills. And I've been taking 5 of those every day for more than 15 years, so I can have some lubricity and less pain in my hands and my fingers. When I'd wake up in the morning, you know, they go trying to open them, get them to kind of give them a little massaging, get some movement going. So it's, you know, so I stopped taking those horse pills 4 days before our product came in. I was going to give this a good test. Well, let me tell you what happened. My wife, I didn't tell her about that we're going to be doing a new coffee. It all came in and she said, "What's this?" I said, "It's a new coffee. It's one of those functional drink coffees." And she says, "Well, I hope I like what it tastes like." And so, uh, I said, "Let's just try it, see what it's doing, give it a good try." And so she fixed her cup and she drank about half her cup before she brought me mine. I was back in the office doing Zooms like this and uh, and talking to people, trying to share this opportunity with the first few people. Because see, I hadn't used the product yet, but I knew millions of people it was working on. I looked at it as a business. I didn't care if it worked on me or not, because I'm an engineer. Most of the things never work on me anyway. I never really have a. I've only had a couple of products in my entire life that I've been able to have a product testimony with, and it came in, and I'm going to tell you, before I finished my first cup, I did. I felt what Pamela said when she came in. I feel this little extra little bit of energy. It's not a not a. It's just a presence of energy, a feeling of energy. Uh, I don't know how to describe it, but I got it the first cup, and then the second cup the next day it was even more, and then the third day it was even more. I just felt more energy. I felt healthier, uh, and my wife's brain fog was dissipating, and that's a good thing. And she noticed that, and then I kind of noticed on the third day a lot of my pain and my arthritis was dissipating. It wasn't gone, but it was dissipating. It was easier for me. And my same with my shoulders and my old football knee. About the fifth day, I'm going to tell you, my pain was gone. I didn't have the, and I wasn't taking those horse pills. But it's the energy level. I feel 20 years younger still today. After 5 days drinking this coffee, I felt 20 years young. I felt healthier. No diet, no exercise, no change in anything, just drinking my cup a day and my cup of matcha in the late afternoon. But it had a side effect with me, I'm going to tell you. And people that know me have already noticed it. I went from a 46-inch waist to a 40-inch waist and shedded 26 pounds. That's a nice side effect to have. Okay. Now, it don't make everybody lose weight, but if you need to lose weight, this synergistic product seems to work on the people who need to work on. Okay. So I hope you see what you came to look for more information. I hope you join us because it truly is the opportunity of your lifetime. And I want to hear your product testimonies. I want to hear how the product affects you. I want you to team up with us. We work as a team. Together, everyone achieves more. I really believe that. And if you're in my team, I want to meet you. I want you to have my number. I want your sponsor to give you my number. I want to have your number. I want you to be able to get people on a Zoom with me, with your sponsor, with We work as teams. And I teach a duplicable system, and so does Robert. And so we're here both to provide that support to help you build a huge successful team. I thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you on the beaches of the world as we help people get healthy and get wealthy. It doesn't get any better than that, ladies and gentlemen. AGARA style.